Welcome to Classroomology 101. I'm your teacher, Kate. Today I have a book review for you on the story of Clementine. It's written by Sarah Pennypacker, and to be honest, I don't know too much about her. I've never read anything she's written before, but I had my eye on Clementine for some time now. In my classroom, I have carved out about 10 to 15 minutes every day where I read aloud to the students. I truly believe that reading aloud to your students should be an integral part of every teacher's language arts program. The information, the knowledge gained from teachers reading to their students is invaluable. From English language learners to your below basics to even your challenged students, reading aloud is going to benefit everyone. So why do I read aloud to my students? For my students who are learning to read, hearing what a fluent reader sounds like is important. They don't know what fluently reading should sound like, and the only way for them to understand is if it's modeled for them. You have also English language learners who might not have vocabulary. Reading aloud to students will help build their vocabulary. For your challenged students, as you're reading, you might come along to a sentence structure that you are like, ooh, this is complex and difficult writing, and this makes your writing more interesting. For example, most 8-year-olds would write this sentence here. Behind her, Mitchell leaned out from the kitchen doorway, so I could only see his head and shoulders. And then a beginning writer would say, oh yeah, and that's Margaret's brother. But when you teach them that a complex writing would look something like this, behind her, Margaret's brother, Mitchell, leaned out from the kitchen doorway so I could see only his head and shoulders, they start to understand and want to try these types of sentence structures in their own writing. You can get students to be complex writers by giving them mentor sentences to work with. For your students that are just beginning, you've got this picture right here, and it shows Mitchell leaning out the doorway. So it shows through illustration what the written word is saying. So reading aloud to your students really is more beneficial than some people give it credit for. And I really feel in my heart that every teacher should be reading to their students. Now, let's get into the story, right? Because that's what we really came for. So the story of Clementine, she's a young girl, elementary age, maybe 3rd, 4th grade. I can't remember off the top of my head. But she refers to herself throughout the entire book as not the easy one. Now, many of my students can definitely relate to her. Either they are not the easy one at home, at school, wherever, or they have a friend or a sibling who is not the easy one. So immediately they jump on board because they can understand her. The way that Sarah Pennypacker writes this is very humorously. Throughout the entire story, my students were laughing at the silly things that happened, the situations she was in, and they applauded her when she was able to solve different issues that came up. And so they love Clementine. They love her. And Clementine has a very endearing quality to her. And I have had students who very much remind me of Clementine. And you understand them better. You love them more. And so as teachers, we can also understand the Clementines. It gives us that perspective as well. Throughout this book, your kids will want to know more. They're going to have questions, and that also shows just how invested they are in this book. Whenever the 10-15 minutes was up, they would always get really bummed. And we're going to read tomorrow, right? We're going to read more Clementine tomorrow. And to me, students who are laughing and enjoying and actively listening, wanting more, that to me is a sign of a book that has done its job. And I am so pleased to have done a review for this story. And I really do truly hope that you read it to your students, because I think they will love Clementine as much as I do and as much as my students do. Don't forget to share this video with others if you think it's something that they might want to see, and like, comment, subscribe, all those YouTube-y things. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.